dugsiga boardingka iyo maalinlaha ah ee Amano Boarding and Day School.
Morning Form 3s, welcome back to Amano online classes with Mr. David, and today's class is a continuation of the previous class. We have been looking at writing, and last time we focused on creative or narrative writing, and today I want us to see how can we make our stories better. One of the things that I looked into last time was when we are writing, how can we make sure that our writing is engaging. So today I want to take you through writing techniques that you can apply in your work to make sure that it is engaging enough. So today's objective of the lesson, okay, is I want us to explore different language techniques, and by the end of the lesson you should be able to use them in your story. So that is the objective of the lesson. So let's get started here. So when you're writing a story, one of the things that everyone wants to see is that all your readers are engaged and they're absorbed into it, so that they have that morale or the urge to keep on reading and reading and reading. But how do you achieve that? It is through the language techniques that you're using. So one of the things is that they will help you to make sure that the setting comes out very clear and the characters also are built in a very vivid way in their mind. So let's see how we can make this happen. Okay, so here one of the things that you need to do, you have to decide on which voice of narration are you choosing. Are you picking on the first person? Okay, if you pick on the first person, then you can be one of the characters in the story. So if you are Ahmed and you are the one writing the story, so when you pick a first person, it does not mean that's you, but that's the voice of narration that you're picking. Or you can also decide to use a third person. So let's say you're talking about Habdi Hakim, so that is your character. So, or maybe Ajira, so it will be she. Okay, so that is the third person. So it depends on the effect or what you want the readers to feel like. So if you are inviting them, you want them to feel warm and have authoritative voice, you can say I. You can go for the first person. But if you want to create some kind of distance and make them be very objective and look at what the character is like, then you can decide on the third person of narration. So let's look at the next thing that you need to find. So for your story to be good, you need to think of description. So here, the words that you're going to use, adjectives, choice, adverb, similes, or metaphors. So this one will give the detail and clarity that each particular reader would love to see. So clear, vivid pictures that filling the reader's mind, that is what the readers would love to see. Let me give an example here of a metaphor. Okay, the circus was a magnet for children. So here the children were pulled. You know, when you use the word here, magnet here, okay, so from a literal point of view, this is something that pull the iron or some metal part of it. So when you talk about being in a circus and you attending that particular event, and you're saying that it's a magnet for the children, that means it was pulling children. Children love to go there. Let's say it is Car Express Center or Barwago, and where the circus is, and the kids are like, oh, I want to go there. So that is what you have chosen there. So if the word magnet there is as metaphorical reference. So let's move to the next one. So you can also try to break from the monotony of simply telling a story and bringing the characters to life. So this one you can do by creating a dialogue where characters speak to each other. It can be a monologue, one character speaking, or maybe two exchanging some kind of word. So the direct speech, this one will try to unveil those particular traits of characters which might be hidden if you are simply telling it from a narrative point of view. So let's move to the next one, which is you can pick a style like alliteration. I want to give you an example here. Okay, so if we okay, this is the example I've been talking about here. here. Okay, now the seahorse spiraled, seeking safety and solace. So I want you to look at S, S, and S, S. So it creates some kind of rhythm in this particular sentence. So these are alliteration. So the beginning sounds in the nearby word. So it creates that emphasis. So if you are trying to write a sentence like this, the seahorse spiraled, seeking safety and solace. So somebody just imagines how it was going and trying to find a way to hide where it is alone. So that is the emphasis that you are trying to create. Okay, so let's move to the next one. Okay, connotation. Just from this a literal meaning. For example, let's take the color blue. Okay, I just want to okay, so if we have the color blue, usually this one has the meaning of some feeling of some kind of sadness. Okay, so you've heard about people talking about Monday blues, and I don't know whether you've stopped to imagine what they mean. They don't mean a literal meaning of the color blue, but that feeling of sadness. So connotation in this case is that particular word that can be used to create that particular atmosphere. So I want you to look at this part. As soon as the food reached the table, the boy pounced on it like a cat. So a connotation here, just trying to bring in this particular context that the feeling of, instead of just looking at that boy pouncing on the food like that, which is not possible, but we have to look at the hurry in which he ate the food. So meaning he was very hungry. So that's what you get. So connotation is a word that has maybe a black thing, maybe can signify death or even evil, like that. So particular thing that has a meaning which is associated and generally agreed upon by the reader. So you can bring that one into your piece of writing. So let's move to the next one here. You can also use pathetic fallacy. For example, I want you to look at this one. If you are writing a story, so in a ghost story, the storm clouds could be said to be glower down angrily upon the group of youngsters. Not that you just want to add that atmosphere to the scene, so it can even give the clues to the reader of what is happening. So if you in this particular ghost story, and we are talking about that particular clouds and the storm, so somebody says that something sinister or something bad is about to happen. So that is what is some kind of personification, but that's associated with the scene or the atmosphere in your writing. So let's move forward. Then this is the personification. When you give something which is not human, the human attributes or traits. For example, here I want you to look at this one. The sun scorched through the day. Okay, so if you can isolate the word scorched, or which mean burning something. You know, the sun doesn't have ability. You and me, we have the ability, we can lit fire and even use it to burn something. But now the sun doing that, so you see it's been given those traits of a human being. So that's what we talked about as personification. So presenting objects so that they have a feeling. Okay, so you can use that one to better your writing piece. Okay, so let's move to the next one. Repetition. So I told you this in our previous lesson, that this, when you repeat a word or idea, it can be a whole sentence, this just for the purpose of emphasis or to create that particular pattern. So sometimes with the sound, then there's the rhythm that is being created. Okay, so let's move to the next one again. Then onomatopoeia. So the words that echo the sound that have particular meaning. For example, here we can see the word whose or bang. Okay, so they add the emotion or the feeling that helps the reader to create the sentence. So if I say he banged the door, you just picture that one clearly, how the door was being bang like that. So that's what you can use to better your writing. Okay, so let's move to the next one here. So we have simile. Okay, I've said this one before. When you compare one thing and another one, for example, if you say your teacher is as tall as a tree, or it's as green as grass. So I want you to look at these. These are kind of description that compares things so that the thing described is understood more vividly. Just look at that. The water was as smooth as glass. So when you're touching water, like as glass. So the use of the word like, so this particular, they create that particular spot that the reader is helped in engaging and to see that, oh, I know a glass. If I touch a glass, oh, yeah, the glass surface is smooth. Wow, that means the water was smooth. Okay, let's move to the next one. Okay, so a symbolism. Okay, I want us to read here. So when particular words, single words or ideas are put, but they hint something else, like in this case, a heavy buckled belt. So let's assume that I'm tying a belt here, like soldiers, you know, in the military people, they tie. So it signifies the power held by certain character. Or black can be a symbol that represents the evil or death. So you can use symbolism. So what impact does symbolism has? So it tells the readers to pack a lot of meaning into just a single word. So one particular word, but helps to create a very packed meaning. So this one pulls the reader automatically to get involved into working out the meaning. So this is what you need. So when you're writing a story, class, remember that apart from just writing ordinary sentences, you need to have some skills. Look at language techniques that you can bring in to create effects to make your story good enough. I want you to go out there, look for these different literary devices and use them as you write your stories. Otherwise, I want you to go to Amano online classes and take the quiz that I'll put up in regards to this particular topic. I want you to stay safe and stay safe always.